Namaste and welcome to my Wednesday Wellness. So today I want to do an expectation detox. The reason for that is this traditionally isn't a time of detox, it's more a time for nourishing ourselves. But it is a time of overwhelm. And you'll see, you might feel it yourself, or you'll meet when you go out, people are feeling overwhelmed. And the reason for that is expectations. So I'd like to do with you today an expectation detox. So what I mean by expectation is what you expect of yourself over the upcoming holiday period, what you expect of others. So that's two kind of branches to it. If you're experiencing primarily overwhelm, then you've got to work more on what are your expectations of yourself. If for you Christmas is traditionally quite a fraught time, a time where there's a lot of aggro, then it may be you have to deal with your expectations of other people. And so the consequences of these expectations are they tend to be totally unrealistic. So they tend to disappoint. And then that tends to lead to feelings of inadequacy, which is pure, raw emotional pain. And then when we feel those feelings, we want to distract ourselves from them almost immediately, straight away. So we can go to booze, chocolates, or putting that judgment straight back on somebody else. So if you're judging yourself harshly, don't like how that feels, I'll judge somebody else, all of which are a vicious circle, because all of which will lead to more self-judgment, self-criticism. So none of it is good. So we'd like to just be aware of the expectations that we have of ourselves and others. So why is this traditionally such a period of expectation and really a kind of a fraught time? Well, first of all, it's quite an emotional time because it's holidays, it's getting together, it's associated with childhood. So it's a very emotional time, and a lot of those emotions are rooted in childhood. So they can be kind of, immature feelings that you haven't really properly dealt with. And then you're thrown in with all your family and you've got all that and all those expectations. So it's an emotional time. It's traditionally a time of comparison. It's hard not to. You're getting a present, somebody beside you is getting a present, and you're comparing straight away. So it's traditionally a time of comparison. So just be aware of that. Be aware of, just catching yourself in that moment, even if there's Christmas crackers and you're like, what did you get? I got this dancing fish again, it doesn't do anything. So just be aware of the comparisons. It's traditionally a time, or it's become a time of comparisons, very stark comparisons. And then third, so emotional time comparisons. And third is social media is actually schooling us in comparison and judgment and expectation. So social media can up the ante on all this, because every day kids are dealing with this and adults are dealing with this, that you look at social media, and over the holidays you might have more time, so you're in social media more, and you're looking at your posts, how many likes, comparison, judgment, self-criticism, all of that. So that's why this time of year is it's more emotional, even more comparison than other times. So there's more room for this. So again, we need our expectation detox. So what are the answers? So the first thing I'd love you to do is this expectation cull, or just getting rid of. So what you got to do, get a piece of paper. So please, if you're watching this, please do it right now. Grab any piece of paper that's near you, get a pen, and just write down, what do I expect from myself this holiday season? What are my expectations of myself this holiday season? And write them down. And as soon as you write them down, I'm hoping you will have a little bit of self-love and a little bit of, whoa, well, that's like huge and probably way too much, and just be aware of where these are coming from. So the next step is, where are these coming from? So first of all, write the big long list, but as you're going down, just be aware of where they're coming from. Are they coming from, generally they're coming from externally, but they may be coming from internally, that you want perfection in all things. But when you write them down, you'll see how impossible they are. Things like when somebody spontaneously calls with a gift, that you will have exactly the gift for them. It's not possible to have all these things. So please write down your expectation list. And if it's a particularly fraught time of year, it'd be nice to write down your list of what you expect of others, be it your spouse, be it your kids, be it your extended family, what you expect from others at this time of year. And again, see, wow, and they're never going to make that. So, just to be clear on what you're expecting and see how realistic or probably unrealistic it is. And ideally what you want to do is cull at least half of that, or at least just be aware where it's coming from, and then hopefully you can let go of a lot of it. the need to have a perfectly tidy house every time somebody calls. You know, whatever it is, hopefully you can let go of at least half of what's on that list, because as soon as you see it, you're going to see it, half of it needs to go. And if you're going to have any chance of ditching this feeling of overwhelm at this time of year. So detox your expectations first. Second, I would like you to develop the habit, and the first step will help you develop the habit of catching yourself in the moment of when you are not meeting your expectations and feeling kind of niggly and, oh, I really meant it, oh, I didn't wrap, oh, I didn't. Just catch yourself in that moment, and please just treat yourself with a little bit of self-love, a little bit of forgiveness, and try to remember it is a beautiful childish time of year. So try to feel that, because all this pain is originally coming from childhood and, you know, judgment and all that kind of stuff from childhood. So try to just be aware in the moment and just forgive yourself and just show yourself a little bit of love. And for others as well, when others are failing to meet your expectations, just try to have a little bit of love, because it will just help to let go and to keep the positive vibe. Because when you start going down the judgment, self-judgment, self-critique, then it just lowers the whole Christmas vibe and the feel-good vibe. So you want to keep that up by just letting go of those expectations, letting go of that judgment and criticism. So that's the second one. And then the third one is to just cultivate that feeling of gratitude. So for me, gratitude is the ultimate life hack. Just gratitude, 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 and it has to be practiced. So it really is an actual practice. So ideally, every morning you can get up and think, what am I grateful for today? Before you go to bed at night, what am I grateful for today? And in that moment of judgment, self-judgment, judging others, just manifest some gratitude of, well, I'm really grateful for this, because it just changes the picture completely and keeps that buzz higher. Okay, so expectation cull, that is the key. So please, if you're feeling overwhelmed, which generally we do, please just do this expectation list and just get rid of half of it. Okay. Oh, detox also. So detox is, I really do recommend having for this practice. So have it in the shower. So you can practice this as a morning routine in your shower. Just use detox all over, breathe in, feel that the herbs are underpinning the efforts of letting go. And so do it as a morning ritual around Christmas time. Do a morning ritual of detox, letting go of expectations, letting go of anything that you are storing up and hoping, just letting go, letting go, letting go. Okay. Thank you so much. Namaste.